all know that the prepared speeches are where Toastmasters practice and perform the delivery of a prepared speech in front of an audience. Today's speaker is Toastmaster Sruthy, who is attempting her speech 1, level 5 in the Pathways team collaboration. The evaluator for the speech is DTM Mini Mohan, a DTM in both traditional path and pathways, 4 times path keeper, a 5 times Triple Crown honor. She is the Division G director. She is an artist, entrepreneur who believes Toastmasters can work for anyone, regardless of age, gender, and education. Her motto is to adopt, adapt, and achieve. Adopt the change, adapt to it, and achieve your goals. I would now like to invite DTM Mini Mohan to share the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Manisha. Now, intrepid are those who traverse new heights. Don't you think so? So Pathways is a program in which you can actually take in the skills that you learned here and apply it to any workplace or organization outside of this screen. So how do you do it? Today we have Toastmaster Sruthy, who is attempting her second path, 5th level, first project on teams in teams collaboration, and the project is on team building. Now, what is she going to do about? It's going to be an 8 to 10 minute speech on how she has worked her skills outside in her workplace or an organization of her choice, got the feedback from her peers, a 360-degree feedback, which is going to help her in her journey. So that is what she's going to present. I'm looking forward to hearing it. All the very best to my speaker, Toastmaster Sruthy, and over to you back to Toastmaster of the Day. One point to note, timer, the time given is 8 to 10 minutes.
The speaker for the today is Toastmaster Sruthy, a passionate Toastmaster since 2019. She's a person who loves to connect with new people. Her day is made if she can hear an inspirational talk. She measures achievement through good words and a smile and an open mind. Sruthy, the Circle of Change by Sruthy.
Sruthy Meena, will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities? I will. I felt like the President of India who was going to fight the corruption, who was going to bring in new rules to make common man's life happy, who was going to make this country a better place to live in. I had everything charted out. By the end of Toastmasters year 2021, I am going to make my club one of the best in District 121. Yes, I had this circle in place. You see all these red highlights? These are the awards my club should earn by the end of June 2021. For that, I had to ensure all the people from my ExCom were doing their jobs properly. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Thus started my first ever leadership role as the president of HNR Block Toastmasters Club. Even though I had this huge plan with me, what awaited for me in the store was CTC, cost to company. This CTC is the cost of being a leader. Let us look at the first component, C, which stands for conflict resolution. Because I was married for 9 years, I thought I was a pro in conflict resolution. But it turns out I was not. I had to deal with 6 opinions, give or take. Be it about conducting an open house competition, be it about improving the regular Toastmaster session attendance, be it about how to bring in more members to the club. Thanks to my executive committee, they had a plethora of innovative ideas. But when we are imposed with the constraints of time and budget, we cannot accommodate all the ideas, however good they are. I succeeded in the following. During the ExCom, I heard each and every member. I listened to them and appreciated them for bringing in new ideas onto the table. Then, even with two excoms, if we are unable to resolve our conflicts, we unanimously decided upon a voting system. The decision of the voting would be last and final. This helped us in avoiding biased decision making. I thought I was effectively resolving conflicts at that point of time. But on retrospective, this could have been done better. Whenever there are many ideas on table, a leader should be intrepid to discard ideas. A leader should depict the strength to always have the holistic picture in mind, which is ultimately the betterment of his or her people. This could have been done, something I am in the process of learning. That is C, conflict resolution. Let us look at the second component from CTC, T for time, team management. I have a 6-year-long experience in managing a team of 2. My husband and my kid. We take decisions unanimously, which is mostly my decision in any matter. I'm a very direct and open person, you know. But again, presidentship was different because I had to deal with 6 or 7 different people who are not blood related, who didn't know each other. Initially, we all felt the same, a square peg in a round hole. There was initially unfamiliarity, difficulty, awkwardness. I succeeded in the following: building trust among all 7 of us through regular chit-chats and keeping all our groups alive. Holding the forte for each and every one of them until they slowly transitioned into taking responsibilities for the respective roles. Once I learned that they were ready to roll at their free will, I let go of my monitoring duty and began to respect their decisions. I thought I was managing my team effectively at that point of time. But on retrospective, this could have been done better. This could have been done differently. The moment when I learned that my team members were doing a great job, I let them go. I never followed up with them on how they were managing the task in hand, were they able to prioritize, where should I pitch in. I never followed up with them. I could have set up retrospective meetings to analyze the impact of decisions we took together as a team so that it would prepare us better for the decision-making process in the future, something I'm in the process of learning. Now we are arriving at the last component of CTC, C for challenges. Oh, can't we live without them? Challenges, roadblocks, there were many, plenty. Some we foresaw and we had the measures started out. Some just appeared out of nowhere and hit me right in the forehead like a sharp hammer. And you saw what happens when I see something that I'm unprepared to face. Yes, I panic. And that affects my judgment system. I'm still in the process of unlearning this habit. So you all heard my retrospective pointers. These pointers were swiftly put forward by the XCOM people so that I can grow, evolve, and improve into a better leader. Looking at the plan I had, all these red highlighted awards, I understand that this plan was about the accolades, the accomplishments, the milestones that my club should have. Now I understand that leadership is not simply about achievements. Leadership is more about being open to change. Leadership is more about continuous improvement. Leadership is more about gathering the right feedback from the right people. This circle reminds me that I started out my leadership role with a small circle, 0 years of experience. Then I had this big circle, which reminds me that I started out my leadership role with the notion of changing everything and everyone around me. This circle reminds me that eventually I circled back to the starting point, myself. This circle reminds me that a leader is not born, but made by a set of strong Toastmasters of the day.
Evaluator of the speech, Toastmaster DTM Mini, to provide the feedback.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and in specific, my speaker, Toastmaster Sruthy Meena. What a wonderful way of presenting her learnings. Don't you all agree? Can I have some thumbs ups there? Yeah. So what I would like on the onset is, I like the way she turned, she had a challenge. She took it. She fell down. She picked herself up and came back and did a great, speech. Can we have heart emoji there for her? Just because she did her best and it was stellar. She was an intrepid person there, fearless. So that said, let's go on to the speech. What I loved about your speech is the way you presented it, the way you sort of section, you made it such a huge thing that you had dealt with, and you made it into sections, and you made it very easily understandable. Your language was very fluid, and there was nothing there that anybody could say, oh, this I didn't understand what she said. I didn't get what she said. No, this was a fluid speech. From the beginning, you had takeaways with experience. Like everybody here will identify, except the guests, of course, will see the swearing in ceremony that we had and how you just roped in everybody from that moment on. What are you going to talk about? And I like the way you have this really backhanded humor happening, interlaced within your speech. So that is something that I like, the way you subtly, I can never say a joke this subtle because I end up laughing. So she did it in such a beautiful way that it was crafted very well. I love the short forms. I love the all the proxies that you used, everything. Now, where can you improve? One thing would be the presentation. The presentation, the camera had to be a bit more higher, because at many a case, your eye contact was missing because it looked like you were closing eyes. In fear, we do tend to close our eyes, or when we are thinking of something. So it is good if you can open your eyes and actually put up the camera so that when your eyes are open, it is easily seen. The prop that you used, the circle, it was very good. But the thing is, it was small regarding the screen space. So if you are planning to do such a small prop, it's always easier if you bring it closer to the camera, use the space. And I noticed the space you were using was, you had done it very well. I am not one person who says you have to keep on running across the space. So you did it very well. But these kind of small things, if you want pointers, please check on my car speech. The humor, which I loved, again, the first part when you said about 9 years of marriage, things like that, that would make more of an impact if you have a pause at the end. The pace was so, I think you were so hell-bent on the story, you were pacing it a little too fast. But these are like, I'm just picking on small, finer details. I love that you had bought in and said about the CTC, and you broke it up into smaller bits so that people can take bits from it and make note of. And that is something that you did very well according to the evaluation. And with that, I would like to say, Sruthy, it's very good to always hear a person who speaks from experience. So that in that there was two parts where you can quote which is the challenge that you brought about. Where did you face the challenge? You said it hit you like a hammer, but what was it that hit you like a hammer? How you dealt with it is done. So regarding the space, the timing, everything was done very well. So I would like you to watch out your presentation a bit more by opening your eyes, bringing in more example, using the stage to the best effect. And remember, a leader is someone who knows the way, shows the way, and leads on. Okay, back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.